Hi, JP and Alex. Can you tell us anything disclosure related that you think will happen this year? And is that just in the USA or also in Europe and the rest of the world? Thank you both so much for everything you're doing for humanity. Much love.
Is that for you or for me?
That's for you.
Oh, I think disclosure is already happening. I think it's already happening with the things that are happening right now with Congress and with different countries. I know we're going through these miscellaneous wars and all that, but behind the scenes, I think disclosure is imminent. It's about to happen this year or the beginning of next year. It's going to happen. When I say disclosure, maybe a technology that is so advanced that's going to help us out in the future. When I say disclosure, is interacting with ETs when they're using a technology that we start comprehending, like for example AI. And I think also the spiritual realm is going to be more understandable in what is the interdimensional realm by the study of quantum physics and also implementing a massive surge of AI trying to have breakthroughs on different elements and different equations to make us live longer and also to interact with these ETs that are interacting with us in the interdimensional realm and the regular realm that we're in and space. I think it's going to be, if you thought the internet or the phone was a technology that was crazy, wait to 1 year or 2 years what AI is going to do with implementing and rediscovering different elements and different types of technologies it's going to be creating. So I think it's going to get us closer to a type of massive disclosure. It's going to be awesome. Beautiful.
Isn't it true that our forefathers, prior civilizations, have already achieved that, and there was always interaction between extraterrestrials and us in previous civilizations, and that even though this has been very well documented, it's also been poo-pooed or dismissed by the powers that were to keep us secluded from these truths. Because many of us are them and they are us. We share bloodlines and connections through that. And it's important that people know that it's like Back to the Future. We're going back to the future.
Yeah.
Hi, JP. How do your memories about your adventures come back to you? Dreams, meditate, doing something random, it gets triggered? Thank you for sharing. And also, could you talk, you mentioned memory a little bit earlier about humans not remembering who they are. Can you talk a little bit more about that? You want to expand on that, please, as well? So how does it come to you? And go on from there.
When I go through the experience and I do a mission, I always remember. But there is some soldiers, right, that when they go, you decide, you put in your resume, if you sign up for these missions, that if you want to remember or if you don't want to remember. So there is some soldiers that forget everything that they do. I don't like to forget anything that I do. So that's not in my resume. If I go to this mission, they ask you before, hey, do you want to remember or you want to be clueless? I say, I want to remember, but either way, if they put don't remember, there's certain types of meditations that you can do that you can bring back this information and bring back the mission. So I have that ability. I remember everything by details and everything that happens to me in these missions. So it's just, if you go to a birthday party, this is an example, and in that birthday party, they treated you bad, but if you have a great time in this party and you love what you're doing in this party, you're going to remember the whole party. You're going to remember names. You're going to remember who blew the candle. You're going to remember the taste of the cake. But if something bad happens to you in that party, you don't want to remember nothing, So there's certain missions that I do not want to remember because you lose loved ones, But there is missions that you want to remember because it impacted you in a different way, how you saw things and how you see people when you come back. So memory is something that you have to learn how to control. It can be tricky sometimes. So what I talk about is because I experienced it and I remember it, how it went down, So there's no memory that I like. For example, the mission to Saturn, it was a memory that was kept in there that I did not want to remember, but I started remembering. And I shared that memory with Dr. Sala, a recap of what happened. But it's just the memory is there when you want to remember it, and you go to these missions. It's just you have to learn how to put it in different parts of your brain to take it out after. So it's just experiences that changes your life. You will always remember. It doesn't matter what happens, or an experience as well. If you go to a grocery store and somebody pulls out a weapon on you, you're never going to forget that. It just comes and goes, depending on the situation. If that makes sense. Hope so.
And the other part about humans remembering who they are, how do you think we can do that en masse?
I think doing research, reading a lot about the past, read different types of books that can help you, and also meditation can help you remember things that you've probably done in a past life, or maybe, because, we live multiple times. I believe that. I believe that we do live multiple times and that we are here on Earth for a certain time, 110, 120 years. There's new humans that pop up. So I'm glad to be in this batch of time with all the humans that are here living, because every 110 years there's going to be a new batch of human, but we do have to leave a mark, and we do have to leave this information. We do have to leave the love frequency for those that come after us, our kids and our grandkids, and these kids that are going to come and fill our shoes about these experiences. So that's what like I said, we are a species of amnesia. There's things that probably, who knows the richest person in 1850? Nobody knows the richest person no more. He passed. Nobody talks about him. Nobody in 200 or 300 years, if we don't leave a mark, people are not going to know about us. We're going to know about Armstrong. Yeah. We're going to know about Trump. Yeah. But people like us that have contact with these extraterrestrials, we're trying to leave a mark and leave these informations and leave this documents. I'm going to probably put this on diamond and and just keep it just in case for the future, or a tablet of rock, write it on tablet of rock, these stories, because in 110 years, we just forget technology. We had technology so advanced a couple 100,000 years ago that it'll put this technology that we have, like if it was cupcake, you know? So it's just, we just have to learn how to remember by documenting. That's the best way how to do it, you know?
Copy that. Copy that.
Many thanks.